Hey, welcome to another episode of Five Lakes Garage where we're still working on the pumpkin. If you follow the other videos, we went around to try to get it trail ready. We changed gaskets on the front and rear diff and try to seal that up to try to keep some of the oil in the case. I do have some parts ordered for that to finish that, and I'll have that video posted later. But while I was changing all the fluids in the transfer case, the transmission and stuff like that, I did find a couple leaks. I was getting ready to go tackle them, and when I pulled out the drain plug for the transfer case, I did notice that there were some metal shavings on it. Now, it wasn't a lot, but it was enough to make me a little concerned. So I went ahead and pulled it out. So I pulled it out here, and we're just going to crack into it and see what is going on. We are going to check out all the gears, all of the forks. I'm probably going to pull these out. This one seems to be bent a little bit. This is actually one of the shift linkages. And so we're going to take a look at that and see maybe if I can straighten it out or maybe even get another one. And also, this is for my twin stick setup, and we're going to try to figure out a better way to actually put that up there. It seems to be pretty beef, but it could be better. I would like for it to go all the way to the other side, kind of sort of like the pins were on the original setup, but we still need to make it to where it will function properly. So let's take off the case. We just got to flip it upside down, take off the case, and at least see what's inside. So let's do that. One thing about these guys, this is a Dana 300, and you will get yourself a workout. I might actually get the scale down here just to see how much this thing actually weighs. She got some beef. All right, so this was the drain plug that I had before, which I need an Allen wrench. 1 second. All right, so this is the Allen. Actually, it was just sitting in there first for a little bit, and you can see there's already some stuff kind of magnetized to it. So it's a little concerning. I do see where I've kind of hit a few rocks. So hopefully these guys won't strip out. But let's get this guy open and see what we got. All right, luckily for this thing, it is American made, and so you got to use SAE tools. Unfortunately, a lot of my stuff is all metric, but I do have my dad's old stuff. So I got a 1/2 inch and I got a 9/16, and that should be enough to cover almost all of the hardware for this transfer case. There we go. All right, one little quick tip here. Both of these sockets are 1/2 inch. They will work for this particular setup. Every one of these bolts are hex, but the difference between these two sockets, one is a 6-point and the other one is a 12-point. If it's a 12-point, obviously you got to use the 12-point socket. If it's a 6-point, use the 6-point socket. These will work most of the time, but when you really start trying to rip down on it, it will actually strip it off a lot easier. So use one of these. Use the 6-point. All right, so I got one bolt here that actually looks like it's been machined. Zoom in on that puppy. All right, that was fun. Well, it looked like this guy here either hit a rock, or hit or something, and this is kind of the things that we kind of deal with when working on off-road stuff. But it looked like it sheared a little bit off of the drain plug, a little bit off the pan, halfway across the bolt. So I actually had to take another nut and weld it to the top just so I can get it out. So of course I'm not going to use this anymore. So I looked in my magic stash of bolts that are all random and found one that was exactly the same thread, the same everything. Actually kind of looks close to being the other ones. And it's the same size head. And if you're doing this at home, just know that this has gear oil in it. And gear oil stinks. Not a hammer. Alright, so once again, just like the other covers, be careful not to bend this because sealing it will be a pain. Alright, so that is not a factory seal. So somebody's been in here before. Okay. All right, so all right, so if you can see right down in there, that fork is actually missing the plastic that is supposed to be around that fork. So it kind of flops back and forth. So that could be one part of my linkage problems, where it would, sometimes it'll go all the way in gear, sometimes it wouldn't. The front forks seem to be in okay shape, but the main drive forks does not seem to be put together. So we're going to be doing a full rebuild. All right, so here is a quick overview on my twin sticks. As everybody knows, I do have twin sticks on the CJ. So I go in, I turn this, let's see, push this back in. All right, so here we go. So that's high range, all right. That's low range. I see I'm still not in four-wheel drive yet, but that is low range. Now if I go over to this side and pull this out, there we go. So you pull this one out and you get 4 low. All right, so it looks like we are definitely gonna have to do a full rebuild on this guy. I'll go ahead and order the parts. I'll post this video just to let you know what's going on, and look for maybe a 2-part series for this. One for complete disassemble, one for the assemble. There are torque settings, there are clearances, there are lashes, there's preload, and all kinds of good stuff on this guy. But it is not that difficult. Anybody really can do it. All you need is a press, some patience, some grease, and a rebuild kit. So I'm going to go and get this thing cleaned up so I'm not completely disgusting, and start tearing it down. And hopefully soon my parts will come in and we'll be able to put it back together and put it back in the Jeep, because I have 2 weeks before we're on the trail and we got to get out there. So keep watching, and I'm going to go have a beer because this sucks. So anyway, yeah. Keep watching, look for the look for the series, and follow along on this adventure. And if you have a Dana 300 and a CJ, I believe they started in 1980, which is this one, all the way up to 86. So this will apply to all of them. So anyway, stay tuned. Later.